But apart from that, no, it's been good. Like the first week of January, for some reason, was a bit lethargic, and I didn't get where I wanted to go. But this week has felt very productive from my business side of things. I feel like I'm sort of starting to gather momentum into the year again now, which is good, which is where I want to be. How are you doing?
Fine. I'm great, mate. Me, you know me, always great.
I do. I think.
Yeah. No, it's what day are we on? The 9th.
Yeah,
9th
Thursday.
We're recording this. Started off the year all right. Like pretty
2020.
Get some stuff going. Started doing this. Then just started. I tried to rekindle my optimism.
Oh no.
And it kind of evolved into one of these.
Feel good stories.
Feel good stories. Are you ready to feel good?
Okay.
At the top of the
Sitting
bat.
back.
At the top of the bat. There's a lot of sexual nature that's going to be discussed in this.
Okay.
And it's going to be very graphic and horrific. So just as a
I
heads
assume
up.
it's more than just you, your dog, and your housemate involved.
Yeah. So yeah, there's sexual content in here with you. It's a flag. It's a right. Now, I've had to write this because there's so much.
Okay.
I am a romantic.
Right.
This has been established
Yeah.
concretely that within this room, I am the most romantic.
Okay.
Yep.
The least married.
Least married because I still believe and I haven't given up. I am also an optimist.
I won't disagree with that.
Yeah, an optimistic romantic, I'd say. When it comes to happiness, I think anyone can find their own happiness, but I don't necessarily think that everyone deserves happiness, or that some people's happiness will be a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, like someone's happiness might be abducting and murdering exotic giraffes, and I'd be like, they're happy, but I don't know whether that's good for society or not.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
okay, then fair enough. And I've been on the scene looking for someone special, you know, for about a year, I reckon. I've probably been active and inactive. And on Friday of last week, I decided to re-enter the Tinder world, and just immediately, which I took as a compliment at the time. Found someone who I started chatting to, and it wasn't really someone I was that interested in, but I felt like I had to do this internet dating-y thing kind of stuff in order to carry on through that. I've since changed my mind. Let's see if you can tell why.
Okay.
She was very forward.
Right.
And she basically said, she said, like, you know, what are you looking for? And I was like, oh, you know, looking for somebody special, more romantic than Steve. And just
Who's Steve?
Most romantic, most optimistic. What you think Tinder is the right place for that? I said, well, there's nowhere else really. And it got down into basically a conversation about she wanted to hook up and have sex, and then we'll see how to get to know each other from there. Again, I think that's more kind of the modern day, casual person. But not everybody, obviously, and not necessarily myself, but wanted to specifically meet up and have sex. And she didn't want to have sex at her house because she's got a housemate. I couldn't accommodate in my house because I had a housemate. And so went through the very adult route of booking a motel.
Right.
Which I told her as I was doing it, I was like, this feels seedy, right? This feels... I know we're all adults and everything, but to get to know somebody by having sex with them when you meet in a motel seems very... Who was the mayor of...
I was going to say, that's what a mayor does with a prostitute,
yeah,
right?
It was very Mayor Quimby.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. But we were both like, hey, romance. So we'll go do that. So I booked a hotel, and I got there early because I had to check in, and we were going to go out for lunch and then chill out in the hotel room for a bit. Felt weird because I felt very much like a prostitute. I wasn't the mayor in this situation.
Yeah.
As in, like, I had to get there early, shower, sleep, because I was still like, I can't wake up at 1, roll out and do something. So I'll wake up early, get there, sort myself out and crash out and then do stuff.
Cool.
Shower was too small. Just a comment.
Well, that's hotel showers for you, isn't it? Like for me, for me, a lot of them tend to be a bit tight.
Like the shower head was on my chest.
Yeah,
it was just very strange. She had a request. She wanted me to shave the left side of my back. Don't know why.
Okay.
I don't really shave my back, and I don't really care. But I was like, I'm a romantic. Being optimistic.
Do you like me to shave it into?
Yeah, it was just like, so
you
felt
want
strange, felt very prostitute
a
like.
heart, like a dog or something?
Just a patch.
Okay.
Like a, I don't know, Polish flag on the side. I don't know. So like, you know, fair enough. It could be the start of a wonderful romance. Who knows? So met up and had a drink with her. Some conversation. We got some food. We took her back to the hotel room. First thing she says, by the way, I've taken 4 Viagra. Which made me think, like, I pulled this face. You know that doesn't do anything, right? No, it does. No, it doesn't. Like, I used to think it was like a blood thinner, Viagra, that it would thin your blood and that's what opens up your arteries and more blood flow. But I Googled it afterwards to be sure, and it was just, because if this woman had just said, I've taken 4 blood thinners, the romance would have left the room. Would have been like, you need to go to hospital. I don't want this murder on my record. You know, it's getting full. So it's like, I tried to explain to her, and it, just so you know, Viagra promotes a certain hormone that is in some way related to erections or arousal hormone, and it only works in men. Some women say they do have an effect, but the belief is that it's in your brain. Placebo. They think it's a placebo effect.
Okay.
So off to the bat, she's already told me she's got a prescription for Viagra and she takes it to meet up on one night stands or potential relationship encounters.
I don't understand taking it and being like, here.
Yeah. Like, I've taken it. Why? Because it works. No, it doesn't. You don't know. So already intelligence is an issue.
Yeah.
As in, like, this is not. And I don't know whether she was trying to impress me. So, I've taken 4 Viagra. or what it was meant to arouse me in some way.
Well, I've only taken 2.
It's just like, this is strange. But fair enough. You know, it's fine. We got undressed, started having sex. Now, to be fair, she mentioned she was a bit insecure about some stuff. But she had very bad eczema.
Okay.
Which I didn't know what that was, but it's basically like inflamed, red, hardened skin, maybe with blisters on it. Like
it
patchy red.
It can just be scaly. It can be minor. It can be.
Yeah.
If it's minor, it can just look like dry skin.
Yeah, like a rash. Or dryness, something like that. But like, she was very. She had a lot of eczema, which I don't care about. Romantic, beauty's on the inside, all that kind of stuff. But it was
with the Viagra.
It was very aggressive.
Right.
That's what I say. It's a point that you can't get to a point of blisters. So there's a lot of blisters all over her back and stuff like that.
So you have to be careful.
Lots of stuff like that. Basically, yeah. I'm a gentleman. I'm a romantic. It's fine. It'll be fine. Because of this, I should mention, she decided to go for the position of reverse cowgirl.
Okay.
Which is me lying on the bed.
Yeah.
And her facing away from me.
Right.
Doggy style, but lazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically. I missed out a bit. We turned on the telly while we had a conversation before I found all the blisters. And The King and I was on. Are you a fan of The King and I?
No.
No. Neither am I. Neither was she. Part of the story.
Just setting the mood.
Yeah. So we start having sex, and obviously she starts crying immediately. Just immediate. And I've had this before. A lot of people explore sex in different ways. I'm totally fine with it. It's not my bag. I'm not doing anything for me. But I understand that a lot of women who, pop 4 Viagra before meeting a stranger, and the stranger looks like me, they'll be like, I'm going to cry. So she's crying immediately while we're having sex. Just straight off. Also, crying and screaming, I should say. She's having a good time, but interspersed with unstoppable sobbing.
Jesus Christ.
So just like, I'm just lying on the bed, this is new. This is fair enough. Right. I think she wanted me to react in some way, the same way she wanted me to react to I've taken 4 Viagra. But if people try to manipulate me into reacting a certain way, my default is to not react at all. Yeah. So if anything, I looked more psychotic to just like blankly stare at this crying, screaming woman. Screaming intensifies, and she has her first orgasm. Right?
Okay.
which in her case means pissing about 2 gallons of lady juice, which is just I tried to think of a polite way to say this, because there's not really. Some ladies squirt.
Yeah,
it's a posh way of saying it. Which is
if you just say it with an accent, then it sounds nice.
Which is perfectly normal. I've travelled. It's more than it maybe not be the average standard, but it's not an outlier case. It's like people do this. Some people pretend that it isn't piss, but I believe the scientific testing is
it's piss.
It's piss.
Yeah.
And again, I don't care. I'm a man of no shame. I'm a romantic. Cry, scream,
and it's not
piss.
your bed.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Which kind of makes sense in that she didn't want to do it at her place. Because all this work I've got to do.
Yeah.
But, yeah, she orgasms and pisses 2 gallons of piss. It's totally normal. I go into that. She went on to perform that act. This feels like a weird word to say. But she orgasmed a few times.
Yeah.
So she pissed
How
quite
much
a
had she
lot.
had to drink?
Not a lot. Like, I had a hot chocolate before
Was
I
she
met her. That's how sweet and
considerably
innocent I am.
smaller after she'd finished?
No, and she continued to cry afterwards.
Does Viagra
Still
cause
fluid.
water retention?
Does it cause geysers? Hot springs? Don't know. But my point is, she's pissed a lot.
Right.
And cried a lot.
Okay.
Right, so the bed's quite soaking wet. And most aggressive squirter I've ever met, I've written here. Weird way to phrase it. But yeah, not to be put off, and I'm still optimistic, I'm still romantic, I just kind of carried on. But I was starting to get a little bit bored by this. And it's not my thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not into this.
Understood.
So I started watching, more watching The King and I. She's screaming and crying. I'm like, getting to know you, getting to know all about you. Piss. Now, this is where it gets unusual. I don't know whether this is
the start.
This is where it turned for me.
Okay.
I don't know the full effects of Viagra on women, but apparently, her back exploded with blood.
Oh.
And so just like little pop marks when you pop a spot.
Yeah.
And then blood and pus and stuff like that. There were larger blisters that burst.
Oh.
And I was this is new. Just very aggressively. And so just lots of blood was pouring down her back.
Wow.
Onto me, and blood on the walls.
Really?
Yeah. Not like excessive amounts, but like you could do that weird Dexter needle thing.
Oh.
And be like, where did this blood come from? And blood on me, obviously. So the weird thing was that seemed to really step up her enjoyment of the whole situation.
Okay.
Now, I imagine it could be something like just your heart's beating, right? Faster.
Yeah.
So there's more blood.
Yeah.
More blood pressure.
Increased circulation.
And then, areas, instead of sweat, she exploded with blood.
Because you flush, don't you? So I guess all the blood is pushed to the skin.
Yeah. And then just blood. And then, so she started screaming and crying, more. And then she had like a final euphoric moment where she orgasmed her hardest, and I think the term I wrote was shotgun pissed, as in just like BAM! The problem was what we're going. We've gone with tears, sweat, piss, blood, and pus have all kind of like coagulated on, and just the shotgun has blasted it all over the room. Biblical, I've written here. Yeah. So that's single life. If you were missing it, no judgment at all. Again, each their own. I think it's just this more about my politeness. You know what I mean? There's a few there's more red flags here that I kind of optimistically, romantically put to one side.
Yeah.
She's addicted to Viagra. Mm-hmm. Maybe a red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's crying immediately. Not a bigger red flag, but still a flag.
Interested in someone who's only half gorilla.
Yeah. Yeah, just
Did you ever get to the bottom of that one?
Well, the only thing I can think of is as I drove away, I felt different, right? I felt lighter. And I'm starting to think, and I don't think this anymore, but I genuinely thought at the moment that maybe she was performing like a satanic exorcism. Like screaming, crying, pissing, and then blood angeling. Like some kind of satanic ritual. So maybe either she implanted evil within me somehow, or she took some of my soul away. So
have you weighed yourself since?
No. It's just gonna come up as just you don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Like, oh no. I've been banished to another plane.
I thought scales were limited to numbers. So.
Yeah. But yeah, we after that, we just kind of got dressed. I dried myself off a little bit. I'm not a shamed person. I'll just kind of go along with whatever. So I just kind of mopped up the wettest, bloodiest, pussiest bits. But there was still like blood all over me and stuff like that. And then we decided to check out. And there was you have to book a hotel for a night.
Yeah.
But we were only ever going to stay there for the day, really. So I was checking out early. He was like, was there anything wrong with the room? I said, no, there wasn't. Here's your key. I'll see you later. It's covered in blood, piss, and pus.
Oh my god.
And yeah, said our goodbyes, got in the car. Now the problem was when I got in the car, I remembered I've got stuff that I planned to do that day.
Okay.
Right? Because I knew it was only going to be a middle of the day meet. So I was like, I'm out and about. I'm closer to where we are now than where I'm at home. And there was a restaurant I wanted to try. It's quite a nice restaurant.
You didn't feel the need to go and shower.
I already checked out the room.
Okay.
I'm not going home then coming back up here. Doesn't make any sense. So and I thought it's funny, right?
Yeah,
Going
yeah.
into
That
a
wouldn't
fancy
make
restaurant
sense.
covered in blood. I mean, it's funny.
Someone else's blood.
Yes. But I knew because I was reeking of piss, pus, blood, and all that shit. If I was working there, I wouldn't let me go in and sit down covered in blood.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. So I was like, "Hey guys, I'm a big fan of your restaurant. It's like it's a nice restaurant for the area. It's just like, I've been meaning to try. You've tried your brother restaurants and stuff like that. So I thought I'd try you out. Listen, I'm covered in blood, pus, and piss. Would you mind if I took it to the car? Because I am hungry. I've built up an appetite from being blown away with shock and strange oddities. It's be like, I need to eat some food just to center myself. And they found it funny and decided to help me out. So I just sat in my car eating duck à l'orange with cabbage and a warm beetroot salad. It's like, it's good. And then went home and felt very different about my life. Yeah, felt very, I don't want to do that again. That was the first point I got to that point. I was like, I don't want to do this.
That does not feel good.
Normal person, please.
That is not. It's not a feel good story.